give me a moment to make sure the mic's working.
Yeah.
I should hear it in a moment. Okay, we're good.
Okay, great. I'd like to call the meeting of the April 7th Fort Edward Union Free School Board of Education regular meeting to order. Please stand with me and recite the pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the next part of the meeting is our roll call. Casey, could you do the roll call, please?
Sure. John Guglielmo is not here. Tim Clark.
Here.
Sarah Bashinsky is not here. Audra All here. Chris Boucher is not here. Ken Chester
Here.
and Tara Ryder here.
Great. Next up, we're moving to acceptance of the agenda. I need a motion to accept the agenda as present. Audra and Tara. Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. Okay, the next part of our meeting is going to be a recognition of successes for Battle of the Books. And Superintendent Halsey is going to explain what that was and identify the winners.
All right, so this recognition is for the students and staff under the direction of Kelly Riccadelli and some other staff that were involved for the first ever sending of our students to Battle of the Books. And it's a great step forward for us in our push for literacy and involving our students in their academics beyond the regular classroom. We wanted to invite them to this evening. I see we have one brave soul who has made it here. And we do want to acknowledge everybody who's involved. So there is congratulations to Owen Carroll, Hannah Schaff, Sophiana Basilio, Ida Mae Thole, Reagan Nichols, Maya Turner, and Nevaeh Denneker for competing in Fort Edward's first Battle of the Books. And congratulations to Everly Donahue, who read all of the books but could not participate in the battle. And a special thank you to Kelly and Jody Brewer for spearheading this initiative. So congratulations to everyone involved. Do you want to speak about your experience?
I'm okay.
What was the scariest part of the whole thing?
Probably going up and having to sit there next to Reagan and her all being like, oh, we gotta do this, right?
What was the best part of the whole experience?
Being able to work together with friends.
Could you tell the board who you are and what grade you're in?
I'd made phone on in 5th grade.
Good job, kiddo. Thanks for representing the fort.
Okay. Please come up and accept your certificate. Good
job being the brave one to come here tonight. I'll make sure everybody else gets these. On behalf of the school board and school.
Excellent. Okay, the next part of our meeting is dedicated to community comment. If you want to make a comment, come up to the board secretary and fill out the form. Are there any comment forms in so far?
I do not have any.
Okay. Moving on, reports. Superintendent report.
Thanks, Tim. Just a couple of brief items for you. First, I'd like to acknowledge our wearing a little bit of my athletic director hat that I have temporarily on here for their work. Our Winter Scholar Athlete Teams designation has come out, and we had 3 winter sport teams that were acknowledged with this designation. Our varsity bowling, our game day cheer team, and our boys varsity basketball team all achieved New York State Public High School Athletic Association Athletic Scholar delineation. Very proud of that. There is an obligation in our contracts that any unused snow days need to be returned as days off, and with 3 days being built into our calendar and the use of 2, we have 1 day to give back. Having wore this hat as a superintendent way too many years and been burned on it once, I'm not a big fan of giving it back for the April break, because in the Northeast, those things can come up in April. Having consulted with a number of people, probably the best day that makes the most sense for us as a give back day would be Friday the 23rd, which is Memorial Day weekend. So it would be the added day, the Friday before Memorial Day weekend, then we would have Monday off as well, which is a given holiday. So that would be the day off for faculty and staff, which then puts Thursday the 22nd as being our high school fun day, which is currently on the calendar as the 23rd. We'll just bump everything back 1 day and move forward. But I wanted to brief you as a board that this is something that we need to do, and out of all the days we have left, I certainly don't want to do it in June because we've got Regents exams, we've got a lot of other busy things that happen then. And it's, even though the weather probably looks good going into the April break, it's kind of soon to go ahead and change the calendar at this late date. So we'll go ahead and modify the calendar and get public notice out to everybody as soon as possible, but I wanted to brief you as a board first that it'll be the 23rd, which means everything that was scheduled for that day will just bump it back and go from there.
Sounds good.
All right. And then just from a broader perspective with the state of New York, there still is no update on a passed budget from the state of New York. There's a number of issues that are still lingering. Most of them are driven, through political party designation and what they want attached to the dollars. As public schools, we're at the mercy of just simply waiting that out. What we can do at this point is simply just have taken the adopted budget that we presented to you folks and that you have adopted with the best estimate that we have for it, and continue to move forward. There's a lot of information that comes through the superintendent network that the educational numbers, they're not anticipating a great deal of change in what was shared with us. There seems to be a lot of deliberation of what they want to try and get for that educational number that is allocated towards education, and that seems to be where the deliberation is. It's not really arguing over the actual dollar value, from my understanding. A couple of the big pieces which we've talked about, the cell phone ban, the electric bus initiatives, and a few other things that are not related to education seem to be the biggest tripping points in this. As soon as we hear anything, obviously everybody will, because the state of New York is obviously well attuned to it. And then there's a lot of information going back and forth about decisions that are being made or initiatives being pushed forward that appear to be federally driven versus what is to be done here in the state of New York. Had extensive conversations with a group of superintendents with legal counsel, and their interpretation is, and their recommendation, and I agree with it completely, is for schools to simply do what you're doing until there's official direction otherwise. Because right now there's a lot of positioning that's happening between federal government and state governments across the entire country. school districts have an obligation to maintain our daily operations. And that's really taking care of students, educating students, working with our communities. That is always our priority, and that's what we're gonna keep to be our priority until we get official documentation that indicates we need to be changing anything as it relates to the Federal Department of Education, Title IX. There's all kinds of positions out there without anything being officially implemented. And so we will continue to do business as we always have been and continue to write it up. And that's all I have for my report.
All right, thank you. Next up, the business office report.
Yes, so update on the head bus driver position. We rewarded and reposted that position this last Friday, April the 4th. We have reworked our budget notice pathways. I've been collaborating with Mr. Halsey and Mr. Herman, and we actually had a good meeting today, specifically on looking at the best way to present a budget material, but also exactly what we're doing awesome in this school. So that's a very cool thing that we're doing. The BOCES final service request for 2025 and 2026 has been submitted. And I would also like to remind you that the budget hearing will be Monday, May the 12th. So that's the updates in our office.
Great. Secondary, no, hold on, we're doing elementary report first. Item C, elementary report, Ms. Matko.
Hello, on behalf of my colleagues on the elementary side of the district, I have a few things. Looking back at the month of March, we had 52 students participate in PART for many of the weeks. Total reading minutes were over 10,000 minutes. Some of the highlights of the program were high school reading buddies and junior high reading buddies that made their way over and made some connections with students. We had some semi-pro hockey players here on site, and a culminating activity will be for students who participated to meet with Billy Floyd on the 11th. I'd like to give a shout out to Tiffany Wendell and to Kelly Riccadelli for all of their hard work making that happen for our students. Also, during the month of March, we had Teacher Night. We had over 14 teachers volunteer, and the projected donation will be over $500, which will be earmarked for next year's Positivity Project School T-shirt Initiative. The PE show was wonderfully attended. Students and staff did a great job putting on that tradition here at school. Our after-school enrichment program is wrapping up at the end of this week. This year, we had 182 student seats filled for that program, and we offered 15 enrichment courses ranging from STEM to SEL to creative arts, technology, and so on. So many thanks to students and staff who participated in that. A look ahead, our computer-based testing for grades 3 through 8 starts tomorrow. We are going to be ready to tackle that. Plans are already in the works for Summer Academy. We are looking forward to a visitor, an author, illustrator, and publisher named D. Jude Miller coming to put on an assembly for the elementary and high school side, and then working with some of our ELA classes and talking about his profession as an author, illustrator, and publisher. We have the science of reading meetings and PD are underway, and we have a long-range plan to deal with that. And we have the poetry contest going on, where we will be doing a school-wide P2 poetry contest. And some of those students will even be entering a national poetry contest. Last year, Ms. Lucas was instrumental in making that happen, and we're ready to do that again. And last but not least, I'm very proud to report that last Monday, Fort Edward was notified by the president and CEO and founder of the Positivity Project that Fort Edward was selected as a Green Shield school. And to put that into perspective, there are 850 schools that are participating in Positivity Project, and only 27 were awarded the Green Shield designation. So that's 3%, and that is a huge accomplishment for our district and community, and it's definitely been well received here at our school. And I think that's a testament to everyone working together to make this happen for our culture here at school. So, good job, everyone.
Let me just pause. Are any of you guys back there Battle of the Books competitors? We recognize you. Yeah. Can you introduce yourself? Nevaeh and Sophiana?
So what was the scariest part, other than right now?
Nevaeh, congratulations.
We were like entering the school building. That was the scariest part.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
What was the best part of the whole experience?
For me, the best part was when we were kind of answering the questions and we got a lot of like,
Yeah? You agree?
yeah.
Okay.
All of you Battle of Books competitors are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting or leave at your discretion, whatever you like. Okay, next up, item D, we've got secondary pupil services report. Go ahead, Nick.
So I'm currently in the district, we're currently in the middle of what's considered annual review season, where we meet once a year to discuss students' progress with their IEPs and things like that. So I want to share a stat with everybody and some of the qualitative and quantitative data associated with that. So far I've done 40 annual reviews. It's a little skewed because the first couple, I didn't ask this question. So maybe it's not out of the full 40, but 36 out of 40 of the families I've spoken to had said something like they're so grateful for all the work that the special ed teachers and the school has been doing. They're so grateful for all the progress that their growth that their child has made, or children have made this year. And a direct quote from a parent I got was, when my child had started here, my child hated school. They were at a different district when they came here. My child hated school. My child did not like school whatsoever. Every day was a fight. My child would scream, kick, cry, getting out of the car. Now my child, after being a couple of years here, loves going to school, can't wait to come here every single day. And the family is just immensely grateful for all the growth that they've seen. And they said they would not send their child anywhere else but here. They were she was just really excited to tell us as a committee. It was via phone, but she was like, I'm so excited to let you know, like, my daughter loves coming to school, and just how excited she was. So I thought I'd share that with everybody, just as a positive kind of note. So 36 out of the 40 families shared they're so proud, they're so grateful of all the progress their child has made throughout the year. And again, the first couple of annual reviews I had, I didn't ask that specific question. So after a couple of said, I said, I'm gonna start asking this question. So again, 36 out of 40, which equals 90%. The master scheduling is underway for pieces of it, like starting the early stages of it. And Joanna Scott has been doing so much as part of that to start that process. So she's been doing a lot for that so far. I want to give a quick shout out to Jess for getting the Green Shield for the Positivity Project, because it's a large application process and she's been spearheading it. So she's a big part of it. It's a whole school-wide initiative, but she was kind of spearheading it, so I want to give her a shout out for that. And just so with the elementary having the PARP and Reading Month, one part through a lot of the P2 or the Positivity Project classes, they signed up to go be like reading partners to a lot of the elementary classes. And one of the weekly themes or ideas was other people mindset and other people matter. So after a lot of those classes went, and we're partners to the elementary school, I kind of asked a couple of the high school students, well, what'd you get out of it, what'd you think? And a quote I got from a student, they connected, like, well, with the other people mindset, I was able to help, I feel I was able to help an elementary student practice reading and work with their confidence in reading. So I thought I'd share that from one of our high school students. I wanted to give a shout out to Nicole Schilling, who is our art teacher here. On March 26th, she was instrumental in kind of organizing a junior high school assembly for all our students 6 through 12. And it was through the Motivational Media Assembly company. And they had a kind of a motivational assembly and movie for the students and staff at the high school side, where it discussed topics such as bullying, drug use, self-esteem, motivation, perseverance, family dynamics, and just a lot of those positive traits that also connect with the Positivity Project. And a lot of the students that I spoke to seemed to get something positive out of it. They thought it was a good assembly. They got some of the messages and the key kind of parts that came from the speaker, but also the video that was shown with it. So it was a lot of work to organize that, and I just wanted to give Nicole a shout out for being like the driving force behind it. A quick attendance thing. For the month of March, the top 2 grades were 5th grade with 95% attendance, and then 8th grade with 96% attendance for the month of March. And then comparatively, for September 1 until March 31st, for 2024, the building-wide attendance was 90%. For 2025, for the same time period of September 1 to March 31st, the building attendance increased to 92%. So we're up 2% from this point, end of March, this point compared to last year. And my last thing is there was a fundraiser through Brooks Barbecue for the International Club, and they completely sold out like really quickly. They had a lot of pre-sales, but at the night they had extras, so they sold out everything, and it was like 300, slightly over 300 tickets. And I had some community members and a lot of families and staff and faculty come and buy Brooks Barbecue. I myself bought too. And if anyone knows Brooks Barbecue, it's amazing. It was really good. So that was just a fundraiser for the International Club. And it was a really good opportunity just to bring in some community members to come here, pick it up, and maybe be on campus if they haven't been on campus for a while. So they went through the side, picked it up, kind of in like a drive-through type setup. And finally, spring sports are kind of underway. And I know varsity softball and softball have gotten a couple wins so far early on in the season, so shout out to all our spring sports, but I know softball's got a couple wins so far this year. So that's all I have for you.
Wonderful, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, building maintenance report, Steve.
Hi, everybody. We're gonna start off in the gym. I've jumped on getting our gym floor done early this year. Normally I wait to get that set up, but the gym will be taken care of between July 7th and the 11th this year, so we'll get that all behind us before the gym wants to be used through the summer months. So I was happy to get that done. We managed to get our tractor, John Deere, and all the implements, pictures taken, it's on the website. And as of right now, the tractor will go until next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. And the tractor right now is at $3,100. And so I'm pretty excited about that because it hasn't been on very long and it's already gone up there. If anybody would like to monitor what the tractor, how we're doing on that, it's on Auction International, and the number is 41848. That's 41848. You can get on that site, you can watch what happens with it and how all the implements are getting sold and everything. The Bobcat, we've had some issues. It's been a rough winter. We seemed like every weekend through February we were clearing snow, so the equipment took quite a bit of use, And needless to say, the Bobcat had to go in for servicing. We couldn't get it running, it would not even turn on or anything, so we had to go get that fixed. We just got it back. It wasn't that bad as far as cost getting done, so I was happy for that. I'd just like to give a shout out to Mike Sharkey, what he's done with the fields and how we've been able to play through all this snow and cold and rain and everything. They're able to get the games in. And what a lot of that contributes to is a new piece of equipment that we bought last year that allows Mike to use the different implements behind the equipment, his four-wheeler and things that actually are able to condition the field and keep it playable and keep it dried out and keep things. So I want to give a shout out. He's worked really hard. The fields look really good, and we've been able to get the games in, which is great, especially this time of year. That's seldom
I
happens.
noticed the upper field was looking good too. You guys were working on that, and that hasn't been worked on in a couple of years, so.
Right.
And it looks safe, basically, for practice. So
Yeah.
it looks good, yeah.
Yeah, so with that equipment, now we're starting to get used to the implements that you can put with it and what it does for everything. So it's really helped them, the fields, a lot. In the kitchen, they've been doing a lot of stuff in the kitchen. And they got that new steamer in there and everything, and they're using that like crazy. And they're able to cook a lot of stuff. And that new merchandiser, the kids are just going after that with the fresh made salads that are done in the merchandiser and all the different things. The kids are like, wow, you know, it's just phenomenal. And Jeff Bartone, who is the head guy in the kitchen, said that breakfast and lunches and everything they're putting more food out than they ever have because of things like this that have got kids eating breakfast and lunches and things like that. So I think that's great. They've got a new pasta cooker ordered, and it should be in sometime in May. That'll allow them to do up the pasta and different things to cook and have that ready. So I'm excited about getting that installed in and things. Should be here sometime in May. But that's the kind of things that I've been working on in the school. I am very thankful that all my uni events have been running good, and the heat issues, no news is good news. I usually know all my teachers when they get the phone call, I'm cold, I'm hot. You know, I turn one down, I pull one up. Now I'm hot, turn it down. You know, so I
From one side of the building to the other, too much sun, not enough sun.
So.
No, Tara, it's the same person he's talking about.
I feel attacked.
Whatever I say, don't take it personally. So
No names, no names.
So that's all I have, but
Thank you.
it's been good.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Moving on to discussion items. First discussion item is resignation of board member John Guglielmo. He sent us a letter dated March 28th, 2025, announcing his resignation. According to board policy, that would take effect 30 days later. Am I right? I believe?
Yeah, he wrote in his letter that his resignation will be effective April 27th.
Okay. Should I say a few words? I've really appreciated working with John. He's been a great asset to this community on the board, and he'll still be around doing stuff, just not here with us on the board. But
The huge loss for us.
it's a huge loss for the board. Yep. Mhm.
Thank you for your service, thank you.
So you as a board, have had vacancies created in the middle of a term. Obviously, you have a short window to turn this around because there is elections that happen in May. You do need to be giving some consideration if you are looking to appoint, as we did with Tara after gathering some applications or interest, emails of interest, and then you held the interviews. Or if you don't, and look to fill it through the election process. So those are, things that you consider as a board, how you would like to fill the vacancy. Because his term was not up as of the May elections, so he does have more time left for his seat.
Can we put it on the ballot for the May election?
Yeah, because the seat would only be, you could appoint somebody, but I do believe, and Dr. Parker will send us a letter dictating that, but I do believe that if you do appoint somebody, they're only on until the election anyway, so then their seat would be up for election. So we do, with his vacancy, we will have 4 open seats for the election. Should somebody, it's my little also district clerk plug, if anybody wants to get a board packet, those are still available. They aren't due back until the 21st. So that will show as a vacant seat.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the election. Right?
I don't know how we can turn around.
You'd have to have a special meeting. We only have one other scheduled meeting really besides, between now and the election.
And we're only on until the
And
election.
they're on to the elections.
And I see that we've been promoting it, we've been saying that they're open seats, so if we want to do the packet, we can wait until the election,
Yeah.
see how many people we get.
Yeah.
I think it's okay.
I'm fine with that until the election. Might as well,
Yeah.
because by the time you're sworn in,
Yeah.
it won't be,
It'll be time.
it won't be able to get on until
Yeah.
after the election, so they won't even be a board member.
We'll wait for
Okay.
the election, yeah.
Do we need to file that as official board action?
You just vote on it? Easy.
I think we can just take no action.
No action is kind of dictates how it plays out.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay, next discussion item, board member onboarding. This was one I requested. It came up at the Adirondack Area School Boards
Yeah,
Association meeting
that we
a
went
few
to.
months ago. I just wanted to review what our process is and poll our newest board members to see whether it's working well and.
How was your onboarding?
It was wonderful.
What's the process that we're doing right now? Because I haven't done it in a lot of years.
Mine was a phone call. What was yours?
Yeah, Mark Besson did mine, it was just like a chat.
Like letter of interest, interview.
No, once you got the
No, once you got on the
Oh,
board.
after?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, how is it going?
How would you instruct it?
How are you?
What's our process to?
I invited Tara into the office. and
Okay.
I took her through,
Yes.
Really a number of, not only bringing her up to speed where we were on current issues,
Mhm.
what was on the topic, what was coming, but also just general advisement of what she can expect as a board member, what's a good rule of thumb to follow when you're out and about and you're confronted, or somebody wants to bend your ear, reinforcing all those parameters that are in place. We had a good conversation, and then orientating to her, and Casey spent time with her on.
Yeah, like I felt prepared, if that's what the question was, I felt,
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Policies and things like that.
Yeah.
And we've got a smooth thing for getting your email and.
Yeah, so I
It was
treat
very
that
quick.
just like
It was very
my,
quick.
yeah, I treat that just like I do our staff onboarding. So I have an onboarding form that says, please, ask IT to create your email, to do your, fob and all of those things. So I typically handle that just like I would a new staff, and then I'm the one who sets you up with like your board docs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This did also come up at some of the district clerk workshops that I've been to. So NISBA gave us a new school board member handbook.
That's probably got
Yeah. So I printed a bunch of those for future use, and it's got that question and answer type format, kind of like the school law book does. And then one of the other things that came out of the district clerk workshop is some additional trainings. You know, that you guys know you have to do the fiscal and governance training, but there are a few other ones that they say are mandatory and or recommended. And that includes stuff like the data privacy, sexual harassment, and child abuse in the educational setting. So I'll look to moving forward. We already have modules that need risk management, provides us for our staff for those types of trainings. So moving forward with our board members, I'll be able to send that type of link out for them to create those profiles to do that as well.
Okay, that sounds great.
Now we don't have to say, we have no idea.
We have no idea. Now we have no idea.
Now we have
I might have had to do
no
some of them for work already,
Yes.
so.
Yep.
yeah,
And we could always take those same, if you've already done something like that. Yep.
Ken, do you have any thoughts to add? You're another.
No, it's a great process.
Okay,
It's so much better than
all right. Well, who is yours?
ours. Rich, I got a phone call. Welcome to the board.
Yeah,
That's all I got.
yeah,
I was very prepared, yep.
all right.
Meetings, phone calls, I have all that, yep.
Mhm.
I got nothing.
All right, sounds like you guys are doing great. Carry on. Yeah,
Tim, if at any point you'd like me to sit down and show you how to use board docs, I can do that.
board tax,
Just
yeah.
kidding.
Okay. Next part of our meeting is called the consent agenda. These are kind of routine elements that we approve every meeting. There's board minutes, treasurer reports, CSE, CPSC recommendations. Usually you vote on these all together. So I need a motion to approve items A through C under the consent agenda. A motion, Ken. Second, Audra. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye, carried. Okay, moving on to section 7, action items. Okay, letter A is the regional, the ROC, the Regional Operations Center. BOCES thing? Ben, you want to explain what that is?
This is a cooperative for the district to participate in for privacy, data security and privacy. The RIC 1, each part of the state's broken into a RIC, which is your Regional Information Center. This particular one is specializing in your data privacy scrutiny of anything that's going to be posted on your website or any contracts that you have with vendors. They're going to do all of the legwork for us if we are in this consortium to make sure that anything that we post has already been vetted by them and that their contracts that we sign are all in compliance with the regulations that we have to follow so that we're not trying to do it ourselves. The volume of information that comes through the data privacy process for contracts and things is unbelievable. So to have one of the parts of the state become specialists in this is a huge advantage for public schools. And because we're a public school and making sure everything's in compliance with Ed Law 2D is the overall umbrella. It's our recommendation that we participate in this collaboration. And it gives us some checks and balances and assurances that anything that we post or anything that we use is protected for data privacy.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the ROC resolution. Audra, second one Tara. Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. Okay, next up, we have a donation from Arlene Henley. This is to accept the generous donation of prom dresses from Arlene Henley. I need a motion. Ken and Audra, any discussion?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you.
Very much. For the prom dresses. All in favor? carried. Okay, the next part of the agenda is personnel, and I have a disclaimer to read, which we always read. All appointments are subject to change in compensation proration, pending emergency school closing and required reductions in force. All coaching appointments are made pending completion and verification of all required coaching credentials, with the stipend per FIDA contract commensurate with experience and no other salary or benefits. All coaching extracurricular appointments are subject to reduction in compensation proration, pending final student enrollment numbers, and pending the outcome of any potential mergers and emergency school closings. I just wanted to note, I'm going to ask to vote on these all together, but a bunch of them are parent volunteers for the positive psychology class trip to New York City. I just wanted to note we haven't been taking board action on field trip volunteers in the past, but it's come to our attention that it's a good best practice to do. So we'll do that from going forward. So I need a motion to vote on items A through G under personnel. Audra and Ken, any discussion? All in favor? Carried. Okay, now we have time for a second public comment, if it's needed. Are there any other comment forms submitted?
No?
Nobody in the back? Okay. Next, we need to enter into executive session. I'd like to remind everyone that executive session is for board members and other individuals invited into executive session. You're reminded that all matters discussed during executive session must be kept in the strictest confidence. Can I get a motion to enter an executive session? Audra and Ken, all in favor? Aye. Excellent, we are in exec.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, I need a motion to adjourn. Ken, second by Audra. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
I just wanted to get that. Thank you. I did it so hard.
All right.
You're serious. And I go, yeah.